Not many people are aware that the City of Austin has an economic development arm called the Austin Port Authority. Despite not having any ports in our community, the City of Austin established the Austin Port Authority in 1987 pursuant to Minnesota Statute 469.051. The Austin Port Authority is a public body made up of 7 voting members, including 2 members from the Austin City Council. This is the Economic Development Board that has specific statutory authority to invest into ventures within the community to broaden and enhance the commercial tax base within our city limits. Over the years, the Austin Port Authority has invested in both industrial and retail facilities, filling a need when others would not invest into the community. Some of the projects spearheaded by the Austin Port Authority include the following. Holiday Inn, 1990. A $1.7 million bond issue to help with the construction of the Holiday Inn facility. Complete Packaging Services Building, 1990. A $2,050,000 bond issue to renovate the old shopping mall into a food processing plant employing hundreds of people. The building is still used today for such purposes and is now owned by Bellisio Foods. The Walker Warehouse Building, 1994. We purchased this from the DCA for $250,000 and has been rented ever since by Weyerhaeuser International Paper for shipping of finished goods. Joseph Company Building, 1995. The Port Authority constructed this building for just over $1 million for speculative purposes. Unfortunately, no viable tenant ever existed in the property, and we eventually traded the building for cash plus property located to the east of where Walmart eventually built their store, known as Burbank Edition. The Austin Public Library, 1996. The Austin Public Library needed the Austin Port Authority to float a bond issue to help with the construction of the current Austin Public Library. The $1.85 million bond issue was paid off in about 10 years prior to its maturity date. The Town Center, 1995. The Austin Port Authority purchased the vacated Woolworth building located at 329 North Main Street for $100,000 and spent another $1.5 million to create an office building and coffee shop. 10 years after the Town Center opened, the Port Authority sold it to the private developer for a slight profit. The Walmart area land, Burbank Edition, year 2000. The Burbank Edition was created in 2000 with the sale of property to Cooperative Response Center for their new corporate headquarters. Additionally, a strip mall with several tenants was constructed on land the Port Authority sold to a private developer, as well as a bank and auto parts headquarters store. Hormel Foods Corporate South Edition, 2004. In order to help Hormel Foods Corporation bring in additional corporate jobs to the community, the Austin Port Authority used some of its funding to help acquire the former Health and Human Services property so that Hormel Corporate South could expand. In trade, we received 13.55 acres of land on Interstate 90 near the new Quick Trip. This 13.55 acres was appraised in 2013 for over $600,000 and is currently for sale. Hormel Institute Phase 1 Expansion, 2006. This $10 million bond issue was issued for the Hormel Foundation and will be paid off in 2017 by the Hormel Foundation. This bond issue helped finance the first major expansion of the facility to add 75 to 100 jobs. Downtown Revitalization. 2007 to 2016 timeframe, millions of dollars have been granted through the downtown businesses for redevelopment of their storefronts, primarily through donations from the Austin HRA, Austin Port Authority, and the Hormel Foundation. Hormel Institute Phase 2 Expansion, 2014. This $27 million expansion was financed with 50% from the state of Minnesota through bond proceeds, and the other 50% from the Hormel Foundation. This facility will be owned by the Austin Port Authority, but will be leased to the Hormel Foundation for cancer research. The Spam Museum, 2015. The Austin Port Authority took an active lead in working with the Hormel Foods Corporation to relocate the Spam Museum into downtown Austin on the site of a fire a few years earlier. The new Spam Museum will open in 2016 and will be an added benefit to the downtown business district. And finally, Oak Park Mall, 2015. After receiving a $3.65 million grant from the Hormel Foundation, the Austin Port Authority spent nearly 17 months negotiating with owners and tenants to acquire the shopping mall on the north side of Austin. This redevelopment project is now being worked on by Hy-Vee to create a new grocery store on this location. Upon completion of the construction of the new store, The current Hy-Vee grocery store will be torn down and the land donated to the Austin Port Authority. The Austin Port Authority also owns the old farmers market lot in this redevelopment area and will eventually have this parcel for sale. As you can see, since our inception in 1987, the Austin Port Authority has invested tens of millions of dollars into the community that has added hundreds of jobs to our local area economy. If you have any questions, please give me a call at the City of Austin. Thanks. I now have some pictures we will show you at the end of this video showing some of the projects the Austin Port Authority has been involved in since its inception in 1987.